Have you ever sat in a kickoff meeting in January and heard all about the amazing things that are going to happen over the next year? But it also sounds vaguely familiar because it sounds a lot like what people were saying was going to happen last year and maybe the year before and the year before that as well. But it never actually comes to fruition. A lot of times that's what we call a lack of leader activation around transformation. And leader activation is the secret sauce for making transformations come to life. We know at Karakins Group that alignment predicts success. Getting leaders aligned to activate the transformation that they say they want to see in their organization is the most important recipe for success in terms of actually transforming the organization. My name's Julie Williamson, and I'm the Chief Growth Enabler at Karakins Group. And in that role, I get to work with clients all around the world as they tackle transformation, sometimes at a team level, sometimes at a market level, sometimes organizationally across the entire company. Whatever level of transformation you're trying to get to for your organization or your team, having a leader really activate that transformation is critically important. When we say that alignment predicts success, it means that everybody establishes a shared meaning around what are we actually working towards and how do we need to work differently. We know that if you're not having some pretty hard conversations with your colleagues about what's going to be different around here, you're probably not transforming the organization. Let me tell you about a couple common mistakes that I see leaders make. The first one is they try to make it easy for everyone in the organization. But here's the thing, transformation is hard. And if you try to make it easy for everybody, you actually hold back the potential to transform. You have to let people know that it's going to be hard and they're going to be asked to do some hard things. People will rise to a worthy ask. What they won't do is shift papers around on their desk for too long, thinking that somebody else is going to transform the organization. That becomes really discouraging. So the first is don't be afraid to ask people to do hard things. Make a worthy ask of your people. In doing that as a leader, you can really get them aligned to the goals of the transformation much more effectively than any poster on the wall or email that you might send. Engaging them and enlisting them in the process absolutely is gold for transformation. The second thing is make sure that the leaders across the organization are visibly changing themselves. I can't tell you how often we see leaders who love to change other people, but they do not love to change themselves. And when leaders love to change other people, they're like pushing out the emails, they're making a budget allocation for training, they're doing all that good stuff, but they're not changing themselves in how they lead. They will absolutely slow down, if not grind to a halt, any effort to transform the organization. Leaders need to start with self. They need to be willing to change how they lead in order to model the way for other people to change how they do the work that's getting done. If you don't have to change how you lead, you are probably not transforming the organization or your team. Number 3 is really about how you create new ways of working and new decision-making processes in order to support the transformation. If you are truly transforming your organization, then it will require different behaviors and different decisions across the organization. How do people spend their discretionary time? Where do they put their extra energy and effort? How do they need to shift what they prioritize in their day or in their decision-making or in their budgets? Where are there opportunities for people to learn new things and do things differently? Not just hands on the keyboard, people have to learn a new system, but how do they learn to think differently about the business? By investing in those kinds of shifts for people, you can accelerate your transformation. And those are all things that contribute to getting people aligned to transforming the organization together, rather than one person trying to do it as a change management person who's sitting off to the side trying to run a plan to change people, which, by the way, if anyone's ever tried to manage change for themselves or for others, it's very, very difficult because it takes day-to-day energy and effort to really come into new decisions and new behaviors. So I'd really encourage you to think about the fact that alignment predicts success. If you're trying to transform, if you're trying to change your organization or your team, you need to get people aligned. And there are some very specific ways that we know you can get people into alignment by establishing shared meaning, making a worthy ask of them so they can see themselves in the transformation, making sure leaders are energetically activated and that they're starting with self, that they're visibly changing how they lead so that others can understand how to change what they do. We would love to talk with you about this idea of leader activation and having alignment predict success for your organization's transformation. Check us out at karakinsgroup.com and give us a shout. We'd love to talk.